think the opportunities for Malaysia, and I'll talk about for the government service, the public sector, are huge. If you have the opportunity to support MDEC as some of the agencies within Malaysia, it's getting behind open data, making sure your information is available, and then thinking about what it is that you want to do with that data. And from my understanding of the work that's been done so far in Malaysia, how you can actually better target your services, have your departments more involved in what they can contribute to the economy, can only help support business to deliver their own services. So I think the primary thing is understand your data and have the support of different agencies supporting MDEC to actually get the data out there to people. They'll know what to do with it once they understand what is there. With privacy, there's huge responsibility that comes with being in the government sector and about the privacy of citizens. And for us in Australia, one of the things that we're very aware of is the value of the data sets that we hold and the interest of a huge number of organisations, individuals, about how they could use that data. And clearly it has a lot of potential commercial benefits. So in Australia, and I would say for Malaysia as well, you have to have the balance between the risk that comes with the privacy side but also the value that can go to the individual. One of the questions we ask ourselves in Australia is what can the service be and what does the individual want, and how do we get an appropriate level of consent or understanding around what it is that is going to be useful for the individual but useful for the government agencies to understand and use. And that's how they can better target services as a government entity, but also how we can actually rationalise the service, look at the way in which they can be done and target to the right individuals to maximise the help they get, but all within the auspice of how do you look at privacy and ensure that the people are being looked after in terms of the information that they contain. One thing I would say is that it's often de-identified data that can be of value to lots of people. So it doesn't always have to be the individual data, the detailed data of a person. It can actually be safe data that's about cohorts or locations that can be used just as much as the individual's data. So you've got to think about what it is that you're delivering and the kind of service that you want to change, and then decide about how you use the data. Again, I'll answer from the public sector experience. The challenges for getting data out there are conservatism, and people are concerned about what data might actually say. So if you're building evidence around data and from data, you might actually question some long-held views about what the right service is, what the right policy is. You might be able to prove or disprove whether something is working well. So a big challenge is that for people to back up what they often say, which is we want an evidence base before we make a decision, is to really embrace that and say, come what may, if we have the evidence, we can then make more accurate decisions or can be more open about why we are making certain decisions. So for me, that's probably one of the biggest challenges. A secondary one would be about understanding the nature of data. That we all think we know and understand what's going on, but sometimes you've actually got to really look into the data and bring in extra expertise, and they might challenge your own thinking that's been there for some time. And if you can do that, you've got a chance of actually getting improved policies and better outcomes for individuals. And that can facilitate business and commercial opportunities as well.